Hey friends, my name is Jonathan Azzarello. I am a worship pastor and the author of a book called When We Sing, which is a poetic reflection on why singing matters more than we might realize. I want to talk about, just for the next few minutes, the importance and really the power of singing, specifically for change. How singing changes us, singing changes the relationships between us and others, and how singing actually can change the atmosphere around us. Singing is so much more than a musical choice. It is a spiritual discipline. And so I want to talk about this. I have three main points. And the first one is this, that you were made to sing. It's part of your design as a human. You are musical. Whether you feel like it or not, you just simply are musical. You have a built-in instrument. Your lungs, your vocal cords, even your nervous system. God designed all of it to produce sound. And your heart beats in rhythm, your breath moves in tempo, your voice rides on sound waves. You walk to a pattern or a rhythm. It's already happening, whether you are singing or not. Even when you're not even thinking about it, even when you're completely silent, you are making music. You are musical. And the really cool thing is this word that I learned about several years ago called entrainment. And entrainment is where your body automatically will sync to whatever rhythm it's around. So your breathing, your heart rate, your brain waves, they actually will adjust to the music. Think about how a baby instinctively will calm down when you hum, or how your body slows down in a quiet room with soft music. That's entrainment. Your nervous system is literally responding to sound, and that's why a slow song can help to calm anxiety. It's why a worship chorus in the middle of a really difficult season of life can help to settle you and ground you, because you don't just hear music, you actually join it. It's like your whole being will lock in with the music. And that's not accidental, it's by design. Psalm 139 says, "You knit me together, I am fearfully and wonderfully made." And that includes your voice. The fact that you weren't made to be silent, you were made to resonate, you were made to sing. The second point is that singing brings unity. Singing isn't just about what happens to you. There's something powerful that happens when people come together and when they sing together. Studies have actually shown that when groups sing together, even if they're complete strangers, their hearts start to beat in sync. They breathe in rhythm. Their brains begin to align. They actually bond and feel closer because of it. And it's just biology. It's how they were made, right? Singing doesn't just express unity. It doesn't just say, hey, we're unified, so we're going to sing. Singing actually creates unity. And that's probably why Paul wrote to the early church in Colossians chapter 3, a church who was heavily divided, by the way, with Jewish Christians and Gentile Christians. He said, hey, let the message of Christ dwell among you richly. How? Through psalms, through hymns, spiritual songs. He could have said, hey, I want you to just teach the truth. But he didn't. He said, sing it, because singing takes truth even deeper. It's how we carry it. It's how we remember it and how we start to live it out. Singing actually forms us. It can write things on our hearts in a way that nothing else does, and it has this way of helping us to hold on to what the mind tends to forget. And let's be real, in a world where we are heavily divided, a world that's constantly pulling us apart, singing might be one of the few things that actually brings us together, back into rhythm with each other and back into something that is bigger than ourselves. I was watching this episode of Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix recently, and there was this group of people. They were in Spain, sitting in a room. They're laughing together, they're eating food, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this group of people just break out into song, and they start singing together. And you see it in Phil's eyes. He starts to tear up, and he says to the camera, he says, "This might be one of the best moments this show has ever seen." And he said, "No, this actually might be one of the best moments of my entire life." And the thing is that singing together in groups like this, not just as a performance, not just as a means of entertaining or making money, but singing is something that I feel like American culture has kind of lost, even the church has sort of lost this idea of singing for community and for growing together and for bringing us together. Which leads me to the third point, which is that singing doesn't just change us, it doesn't just change relationships, but it also changes the atmosphere. Singing can literally shift the atmosphere around you. I want to tell you this brief story. In 1914, in World War I, it was Christmas Eve. Germans and British soldiers were on the battlefield in their trenches on either side of the battlefield, and tension was high. This is battle, and all of a sudden a soldier on the German side begins to sing in a quiet voice, Silent Night, Holy Night, of course, in his German language, and another soldier kind of joins along, and then another, and it starts to grow into a bigger voice. And all of a sudden what gets wild is that now the British soldiers recognize the song. It's Christmas Eve. Hey, they start singing along, and all of a sudden it just grows into this choir, and they all are aware that they are singing. They're becoming human with one another in the middle of a battlefield. They literally, this true story. Because of that, they all start climbing out of the trenches. They start sharing food with one another. They start playing a pickup game of soccer. They all of a sudden are like, they've transformed what was a battlefield into like a gathering, a Christmas party. And why? All because somebody sang. What's bizarre about this is that was just a true story, maybe one of the strangest untold stories in World War history, is that the war didn't end, but the atmosphere changed, simply because somebody sang. And it's so important for us to see that singing and worship may not change your situation. It may not fix what you're going through, but it always changes the space that you're standing in. This is why Paul and Silas in the Bible, they sang in a prison cell, right? After being beaten, after being completely they've gone through everything, and now they're singing. It didn't change their circumstance, but it changed the atmosphere. And maybe this is why heaven is described not with a sermon, but with a song. The power isn't in your talent, it's in your voice when you choose to use it, because singing isn't just about music. It's an act of courage, an act of faith and defiance. And when you sing, especially when it's hard to sing, you're declaring something real. You are declaring something about who you are, about what you believe, about the kind of world that you want to live in. And if you're someone who does believe in God, then yeah, your song becomes more than just an expression. It becomes this invitation saying, God, show up, be near, do what only you can do. The last thing I want to say is this. If you have ever felt like singing is just a job, just a way of sounding good, just a way of entertaining somebody, don't forget this. You were made to sing, not because you're in front of people, not because you have a platform, but because you're human. Singing has always been more than a sound. It's spiritual, it's formational, it's even sacred. And singing is one of the clearest ways we step into who we were meant to be. It shapes us, it pulls us together, and it shifts the world around us. Hey, thank you so much for letting me share. I wish you all the best.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's speakers. Don't forget to get your hands on the VIP ticket, in which I want to give you 3 things that I believe will set you up for success and to start growing. The first is going to be access to 2 of my signature Thriving Singer e-courses that will give you strategy on how to assess and apply your vocal health in daily life. And this is not your average vocal health course. We will be going really deep into specific aspects of vocal health, and it will be science-backed. Number 2 is unlimited access to all of the interviews of the 23 speakers on this show, as well as my favorite interviews from previous shows. So you'll get access to 40 different videos, and in the videos we will be going straight to the point so that you can get the highest value possible. You may be starting to apply a couple of things right after this show, but this way you actually get to go back, listen again, and apply new things so that this is going to pay off in the long haul. And number 3 is a downloadable singing journal, including tracking habits to put strategy into action. And this is something that you can immediately do today. Now here's what you'll do to enjoy these benefits. There's an upgrade to VIP button below. You click it and don't miss out on this amazing opportunity, because this offer will be off the table really soon, and I'm pretty sure that you won't regret it. Have an amazing day.